Okay, I'm Miguel Ángel. I'm from the Spanish State Archives, and thank you very much for the invitation and congratulations for the organizers of the convention. And our pilot project, it's about saving money. So not earning money, but it's another way, saving money. So not that. Okay, thank you. So we are going to talk about the objectives, the origin, the activities carried out, the results, and the lessons learned. Self-service for reproduction of archival materials is implemented in some countries. Actually, in Spain, it's in the National Library of Spain, and in some historical archives, depending on the Ministry of the Defense. The Spanish State Archives can offer this service about their collection in order to achieve two objectives: provide the users with copies to work with, and reduce the saturated reprographic service on the Spanish State Archives. This system is so collapsed that sometimes, for example, in the General Archive of the Indies, it takes from 4 to 6 months to receive copies. The Manual of Administrative Simplification and Reduction of Workloads of the General State Administration and the Remuneration Table for Civil Servant Staff in Spain for the year 2021 have been taken as reference for the following estimated cost. It's only an estimation. For 2022, it's estimated an annual average amount of 1,742 hours for reproduction of documents carried out by a technician archivist. Bear in mind that the digitalization process is done by 8 centers, depending on the General Subdirectorate of the Spanish State Archives, and the time spent of this work is about 4 hours per day. Daily personnel cost is more or less 900 euros. So we can estimate a saving of around 330,000 euros per year. We developed a pilot project into archives of the system, the Royal Archive of the Chancery of Valladolid and the General Archive of Simancas. It took 4 months from October 2021 till February 2022. The measure regulates the possibility for the beneficiaries of the archives to obtain reproduction of the documents of interest to them using their own photographic cameras, tablets, smartphones, etc. This was the original plan, starting in the second trimester of 2021. We prepared the paperwork and everything for the deputy director. And finally, we finished in February. So from February to May, we have been assessing and evaluating the possibility to implement to the rest of the 8 national archives. This measure allow up to getting 50 captures with smartphones or tablets. The users can take photographs about documents themselves as long as there are no restrictions for access. So the self copies that they made only can be used for research purpose. This is an average, is marked in yellow, the number of approved applications, 32 in the Royal Chancery of Valladolid, and they made 1,004 copies. And in the General Archive of Simancas, 182 applications, and they made 5,299 copies. You can see the difference of the visitors between the Archive of the Royal Chancery of Valladolid and the General Archive of Simancas. The lessons learned from this pilot project is that the limit of 50 images per request is insufficient. It should be possible to allow self-copying to be done at the time of consultation and at the same consultation desk. Otherwise, the accumulation of documents pending to be returned can lead to confusion when it comes to managing the documentation in the room. Usually, by the end of the session, they make the photographs and it's a bit collapse. Another lesson learned is if the documents to be self-copied are in public domain, it's not necessary to adopt a responsibility to authorize their use, because the use of documents Artworks in the public domain must be free and unrestricted. The only restriction on the self-copying for documents or works what do not form part of the public domain or for which the self-copying service will pose some kind of risk for to their preservation. The self-copying request form could be simplified. Some users say that it should be more simple. And they also say that it will be nice if it's implemented in the database in an electronically functionality enabled to the system. So that way we could record the self-copies made during working sessions in the room. Must necessarily imply a reinforcement of the staffing of the consultation rooms. For example, in some archives, as you see in Simancas, or in the General Archive of Administration, or in Seville, in the General Archive of the Indies, there are a huge community of visitors. So we will need a reinforcement there. And to conclude, the users for their part express their absolutely satisfaction with the service. They are very happy and they say that it's extremely useful. They don't have to spend time translating, for example, they take the photographs and do the work at home. And for our part, for the archive, we consider it to be clearly positive because it offers clean advantages in terms of user satisfaction, reduction of waiting times, and relief for the always overloaded reprographic service, saving in managing cost. Now we are discussing about extending the project to the all archives, that means the 8 archives, and we are preparing all relevant procedures about paperwork and the logistic to work with in the rest of the Spanish state archives. So if you want more information, you can email me on this email address, or as Ivan checked, the website is very, very complete. So you can check all the work packages and the activities there. So thank you very much.